Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be doing an educational video for you guys. Today we are going to go over the summaries of a play script called Valley of Fear from Act 1 Scene 1 to Scene 5. Act 1 Scene 1. Setting: Railway compartment, Vermissa Valley, 1875. McMurdo has arrived to Vermissa Valley. He's traveling in a train compartment. He sits down, takes out a paper, has a look at it, takes out a revolver, checks if it is loaded, and puts it back. Scallon and Cormac see this. They ask him if he is armed and his whereabouts. McMurdo explains that he is from Chicago and one of the ancient orders of freemen. Scallon says the sign, "Dark nights are unpleasant," and McMurdo shakes his hand and completes the countersign, "For strangers to travel." They introduce themselves to each other. Scallon and Cormac ask him to visit McGinty, who is the bodymaster, and everything happens in Vermissa Valley based upon his order. Scallon and Cormac get off at their destined stop. Police officers approach McMurdo. He doesn't talk to them positively. Police officers warn him to be careful while choosing his friends in Vermissa Valley. I hope you guys got this. It's about how McMurdo arrives, and the story is about basically McMurdo and kind of Holmes, so it's like a two-timeline story. Act 1, Scene 2. Setting: Shafter's Lodgings, 1875. Baldwin, who's a scrubber, trying to convince Eddie to go out with him. Eddie is giving excuses but promises to meet him on Friday, as she's threatened because Baldwin is a scrubber. Shafter arrives and witnesses Baldwin. Shafter doesn't like Baldwin's presence around his daughter and in his lodge. McMurdo arrives and he is supposed to stay at Shafter's. He finds Eddie adorable. So guys, scene 2 is a small scene and there's nothing much to it except that we get to know who Eddie is and where McMurdo is staying. Act 1, Scene 3. Setting: Baker Street, 1895. Okay, now these are two different timelines. One was 1875 and this is 1895. So this is where Holmes and Watson are looking at a ciphered note. Holmes is an investigator. He's reading a ciphered message stating 534 C213. He's suspecting Professor Mortree and stating that he is controlling power of the underworld. He is the schemer of all time and a mind behind devilry. Watson calls him as a Napoleon of crime. He is such a clever mind that he never leaves any proof against him. He is the controlling man of a chain of people, including fighting men, pickpockets, blackmailers, and criminals. They tend to decode the ciphered message. Fred Porlock is one of Professor Mortary's men who sent the ciphered message. He also requests that Holmes burns the ciphered note as he thinks Professor Mortree suspects him of being a traitor, which he is, of course. He is providing information about Professor Mortary's schemes to Holmes. So he is a traitor, isn't he? They tend to guess the book. Their first guess is the Bible, but the idea gets rejected as the Bible's each edition has different pages. Second guess is Broadshaw, which is a railway timetable. This idea also gets rejected as the vocabulary is limited, so a journal message cannot be sent via it. Finally, Almanac is chosen. They are able to decipher the message. There is danger may come to Douglas at Burlstone House, Burlstone Pressing. At the same time, MacDonald approaches and tells him that Mr. Douglas has been murdered. So guys, I hope you get scene 3. Scene 3 basically tells about another timeline where we find out that Douglas has been murdered and Professor Mortree might have a hand behind it. And Fred Porlock is one of Holmes' correspondents. So it's like this whole thing, this whole chain of traitors, murders, and schemes that we'll be continuing in Valley of Fear. And let's see what happens in Act 1, Scene 4. Act 1, Scene 4. Setting: Union House, Salon, 1875, the bar. McGinty and his fellow scrubbers are reading news written by James Stranger. This news unfolds the truth about the existence of a criminal organization. McGinty wants to teach a hard lesson to James for unveiling the truth of the Scourer's existence. Meanwhile, Scallon approaches and informs McGinty about his meeting with McMurdo. So currently we're back to 1875, the timeline, and McGinty is now like the body master we talked about in, I guess, scene 1. So now they are getting to know about that there's a news which McGinty is not happy about, as James Stranger has unveiled the truth of a criminal organization and McGinty is leading that criminal organization. So it's a big thing for them and they want to teach him a hard lesson, like beat him up. Hard lesson means beat him up or something. And then Scallon comes along and tells McGinty about McMurdo. So it's like a short path, but we just get to know that there has been an unveiling of the criminal organization by James Stranger. Act 1, Scene 5. Setting Brillstrom Manor, 1895, the study. Now, again, we're back to the after timeline, the 1895 one. A body is lying on the floor, with its head behind the chair. A swan of gun lying as well. On the table hand lamp is placed with a particularly burnt candle. A single dumbbell is lying beneath the table. Hammer is laying. Window and curtains are partially open. Dr. Wood and Sergeant Wilson are inspecting the body and collecting the findings. They are waiting for MacDonald and Holmes to arrive. Barker is Mr. Douglas's close friend, and he informs the police first. When Mason comes in and he sees that gun is wired, they also get to see a tattoo on his arm with a triangle inside a circle. Barker arrives and officers interrogate him. Barker explains that the murder has been committed around 11:30 last night. According to him, he was in the bedroom when he heard the gunshot. He reaches within 30 seconds and finds Mr. Douglas lying dead. Mrs. Douglas was coming downstairs, but he prevented her from seeing the sight. So in Act 1, Scene 1, we basically, there's the whole starting description is about Mr. Douglas's murder and how he was lying after the murder and what were the findings and evidences. So basically now Holmes is arriving with MacDonald on a train and they all hear Mason, Sergeant Wilson, and Dr. Wood are inspecting the whole area, what might have happened, what is happening, and who might be the suspect, inside or outside from the house. So guys, this was Act 1, Scene 5. I only did 5 summaries. I don't know why the grammar was so bad. Some places I even was like, whoa, grammar mistakes, a lot of them. So guys, see you in my next video. Bye.